Hey guys, I just want to say one quick thing before I start this video, and that is this video is quite a long one. We're basically covering 3 different products as well as setup and installation. So please use the chapters to get to the part that you want to get to. Take screenshots, press pause, fast forward, whatever you want to do, but it is a long one. If you want to watch the whole video, please do, because there's a lot of really good information there for you guys. And that's all I have to say. Okay, on with the video. G'day guys, how you going? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sean, and today we are looking at a very exciting new product from Yamaha. This is their ZG01 Pack. It basically includes an audio mixer which can take video input signals as well, so like your console or your PC for example, and a pair of headphones. And from what I've seen on some of the other reviews that I've checked out, these headphones and the mixer are actually really amazingly high quality products, but I'm going to have to see for myself obviously. So today what we're going to do is actually pull apart my audio setup, which has been sort of untouched now for a number of years. We're going to get this out of the box, give you guys a quick little tour, and then replace everything that I've been using for a while. On top of that, what we're also going to be adding to this is their YCM01 XLR condenser microphone. So we're going to be adding this into the mix as well, because this audio mixer will accept an XLR microphone. So they've kindly sent over this microphone as well. So big shout out and thank you to Yamaha. And basically I'm going to let you guys know whether or not this is something that you should be considering getting if you're in the content creation or streaming space and you're doing it at a sort of, you know, semi-professional level. If you're doing it full time, maybe this is a good addition to your setup. Or if you want to get into it and you really want to just have one pack that does it all, maybe Yamaha will have you sorted. So let's see how this all goes. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to chuck it a like. If you have any comments about the product or if there's anything that I've missed, leave a comment down below. Get subscribed so that way you don't miss out on more, and let's begin. So let's go ahead and pull this all out and see how it all looks. So off the bat, very, very nice packaging. I like that it's all cardboard. I don't know, it's good for the environment, I guess, having so much cardboard. It's got a start guide, which has got a very cute photo on this on the front here, which I guess is, you know, trying to aim towards, you know, what the demographic is, and I guess young people who stream is what they're going for here. Really, really simple, you know, illustrations, very, very easy on first glance to get this thing set up. Obviously we've got probably some warranty information, then there's actually a more in-depth what's this, I think a user manual as well, so it's good to have that there. Or is this just a warranty information? Oh yeah, warranty and safety, but in basically every single language. So that's the documentation. This one here is the actual owner's manual. So the owner's manual comes in obviously a bunch of different languages too, so definitely don't throw this out, because based on how much stuff you can do with this mixer, I think you might be referring to that depending on what you're doing, in case you have any issues. So that's there. We've obviously got this splitter cable, so dedicated headset and microphone. It's actually got little labels there, which is maybe hard to see, but little labels to let you know what each one is for. So that's just 3.5mm going in and then going out. Then what else do we have here? We've got let's have a look at the headset first. So we'll just go ahead and pull this off. This is probably just some information about the headset. And then we've got the microphone here, so we'll try and get that out. I'm probably doing this all wrong, but I'm doing it in a rush. So that's the headset, which is a flexible headset. You can flexible mic that you can actually curve it around and have it in front of your mouth. It's a condenser microphone as well, so it should sound hopefully quite good considering their reputation in the audio industry. I reckon that this is going to sound pretty good, but we'll have to wait and see. Now the headphones, so on first impression, just picking these up right now, they feel extremely light. We'll just chuck the rubbish on the ground for the moment, but very, very light and lots of flex. The cups, they sort of tilt. Is there any swivel? No swivel, so that would have been nice just to have a pair of headphones that you can put around your neck and have them rest flush, maybe on your chest or on your desk. But they have some tilt there and plenty of flex there in the headband. They've got a nice linear, I guess, adjustable, what do you call this? The piece that you adjust to make it longer or shorter. There's no clicking there, so that's fine, but it doesn't look like it's going to easily move. I would have preferred like a little ratcheting system where it has a little click each time, but this is fine as well. Nice, soft, you know, ear cups, clearly labeled left and right, so that way you put it on the right way. So left also has the, I guess, the side where the microphone will go into. And let's just chuck these on quickly. Oh, okay, this actually feels really nice. The headband doesn't dig in really at all, but these ear cups are actually very, very, very comfortable and feel very, very nice. Headphone cable obviously comes attached. I would have liked to have seen a detachable cable just in case, you know, you tear or rip or, you know, have any strain relief on that point, or if you want to replace it for a longer one or a shorter one, would have been nice to have a detachable option there. But overall, not a bad pair of headphones. So the main thing though, not the main thing, but this part, which is the part that I'm really excited about, is this audio mixer. So if you guys are unsure, you don't really know why you would choose an audio mixer, it's essentially so you can basically balance the audio levels between the game and maybe your voice chat. That's probably the best example that I can give. Let's say that the game is too loud and the people you're talking to, they're too soft. Something like this will help you, let's say, mix the audio so you can actually boost the volume of the people that you're talking to and reduce the volume of the game that you're playing. So this is the mixer. Listen, this is looking really, really professional already just on first glance. It's like a nice matte plastic. Don't think you're going to be getting too many fingerprints. The dials feel really, really nice. This dial here for your total volume. This is for your microphone. It can accept, like I said, an XLR microphone, but it cannot accept a USB microphone, which is pretty common in a lot of these audio mixers. They're kind of expecting people are using an XLR microphone or maybe a headset microphone, but no USB microphone support. So just take that into consideration. Obviously, you've got your microphone mute, 48 volt for phantom power if your XLR microphone requires it. You've got some effect buttons here, so you can actually do like voice changer or maybe a button for, you know, if you're saying a swear word and you want to bleep that out. You've got different effects here that you can add to your audio for the game, because this also does have a DSP, a hardware DSP inbuilt. So that's a digital signal processor to really make the audio sound as good as it possibly can. You've obviously got some mixing dials here for your voice chat and for your games, so you can, you know, mess around with those, and then you've got one here for your microphone gain. So overall, literally like one of the cleanest and a really, really nice looking product on first glance. If we spin it around to, I mean, you can, sorry, let's just go through the front real quick. Maybe I'll just move this box out of the way as well. But you can see here we've got a microphone and headset input. So that will be for the headset that they include. So they've obviously designed, you know, this product with the headset in mind. So that will go in something like that. You've obviously got an aux here for your phone if you want to plug that into to use your phone as an input for something like I said, Discord. You've got your power button, and then on the side there's nothing. On this side there's nothing, but on the rear we have the other inputs and outputs. So we've got an input here for your XLR microphone. We've got an output for a set of speakers, couple inputs, so 1 and 2 inputs here for 2 different consoles or 2 different HDMI sources. And then we've got an output here for your, I guess, video pass-through. Then we've got your USB connection, which will go to your PC. So that will be used for actually managing the software which manages this device. And then we've also got one here for adding an extra 5 volts of DC power if we need it. And obviously you might need it depending on what you're doing. I'll probably need it, but overall looks like a really, really nice mixer, and it's got a slight little incline to it as well. So if you're imagining yourself sort of sitting down, it's kind of angled up at you so you can easily see everything without having to sort of peek and look over the top. So really, really nice mixer. Now, what else do we have in the box? Let's just grab the last two things, which is the cables. So these are both 1.5 meters long. We've got a USB-A connection here, which will go into your PC, and then, sorry, into a 5-volt DC power supply, which they don't include. You will need to provide your own one if you do need to actually use the additional 5-volt power. So that's USB-A and then USB-C into the back side of this. And then we've also got here a 1.5 meter USB-C to Type-C, which will go from the mixer into the back of your computer. Now, personally, I don't know if everyone has USB Type-C yet on their computer. A lot of motherboards don't include USB Type-C unless you sort of spec up the motherboard that you've got. So in my opinion, it would have been nice to have like a Type-C to Type-A adapter in the box, or maybe just go, you know, USB Type-A at both ends, male to female, something like that, or male to male, just to make sure that everyone is going to be covered and they don't sort of have to run out and buy any additional accessories. So in my opinion, a USB Type-C to Type-A adapter to plug onto the end of this would have been really, really nice. For those of you who don't actually have an adapter, they're not that expensive to buy, but it just is something that I think Yamaha could include on maybe a future version of this if they're going to revise it. And if you're going to require an extra 5-volt of DC power, I think it might have been nice to include a adapter that you can plug in to I guess to make sure you don't have any compatibility or any power related issues when you're hooking this up as well. I mean, obviously it's hard because there's so many different countries and different regions and stuff like that, but I think if they're kind of expecting you to plug in the 5-volt DC, maybe they should include the power plug as well. That's just my 2 cents. Okay, so this is the microphone. This is the Yamaha YCM01. It's an XLR microphone, so it's not USB. It's a professional microphone for, you know, vocals, for voice recordings. You get a little, what's this, a little microphone pouch if you want to transport or travel with the pouch, and it's got the Yamaha branding on the outside, so that's really nice. We've also got, obviously, you know, an owner's manual for the microphone, so you can probably understand the best way to have it and how far to put it from your mouth to get the best signal and response from the microphone. Again, putting some of the rubbish on the ground for the moment. The accessories that they include probably are just going to be an adapter here, so you can obviously mount it on whatever boom arm you have. So I've got a boom arm behind me from ThronMax, so you'll probably would have checked that out in my previous video. I'll leave a link in the corner if you want to check out that boom arm. So that's just for attaching the microphone. And then we have here the microphone itself, and it is pretty weighty, which is a really good sign. Generally, you know, a nice weighty microphone means they've got good internals, they haven't skimped on everything, and it's usually made out of metal and not out of plastic. And because I asked them for it, they do make it in a white and a black. I have actually requested the white, which has this gold ring around it, and I think that on stream this will look quite nice. So this is the microphone. You've got a little symbol here to reference that it's got a cardioid pickup button, so that way when you're speaking into it, it's not going to pick up too much on the other side of the microphone. Obviously a bit of mesh here as well, which might act as a bit of a pop filter, and that is pretty much it. You've got your, I think this is what they call a 5/8 inch or 1/4 inch, I can't remember, thread, and then you obviously got your XLR input as well. But like I said, if you don't like the white, they do make it in black as well. But on, you know, first impressions, looking at this microphone, it is really, really nice. And I mean, I like the one that I've got, but I do like this design as well. So, I mean, it's all personal preference at the end of the day, but I think the most important thing, regardless of looks, is actually how it sounds. So let's wrap this part up. Let me reset, take apart what I'm currently using. Maybe I'll quickly show you what I'm using, and then I'll get all this set up and show you how it all sort of goes together. Alrighty, so let me give you a quick little walkthrough of my current setup. So, you know, as you can see over in the corner there is my PC. We've got the triple monitor setup. We've got a XLR microphone on a boom arm, and that is hooked up to a Focusrite audio interface, which has been perfectly fine for a long time. But the main problem with that interface is there's no mixing really. It's purely a way of just, you know, getting the signal from the microphone into the computer, and, you know, so people can actually hear you and so I can hear myself. So what I'm thinking is that with the actual, you know, the Yamaha deck, I think we're going to put this, you know, somewhere, something like that, maybe in the corner a little bit. We'll have obviously the cable going into the back of it. We'll have our, cable here coming out for the headphones as well if we want to use that. So that's the headphones there. Like I said, cable could be a little bit shorter or a little bit longer depending on who you are, but it would be nice to have a removable cable. So that's basically my setup. So let me basically unplug everything, pull it all apart so I can get the Yamaha stuff set up and show you how that all works. Okay, so we've got everything now hooked up. As you can see, we've got that awesome Yamaha microphone connected to the boomer. We've got the XLR cable on there as well. It does have a little LED to tell you when it's turned on, so that's really, really nice. And then coming over to the actual mixer, you can see here we've got I don't know how this looks on camera, but it looks pretty awesome in person. You've got some LEDs that move around to sort of tell you, I guess, what the level is when you're adjusting your volume. You've got your slider here for the microphone. We've hooked up the cables that you need for the headset. The XLR cable at the back is actually a little bit too short. Like, I would like to have the actual deck here a little bit further back, so I might have to get a slightly longer cable, but that's something for another day. In terms of the USB connections on the back side here, so we've got one going to a 5-volt DC 2 amp output, and then we've also got the USB Type-C cable going basically around the back and into the side of the PC just down there. In terms of the power, I've actually got one of these really handy USB hubs that basically charges everything on the wall, and that's actually powering the mixer. So that's basically how everything's set up, and it's actually been a really, really easy and simple installation. It only took me about 5 minutes. I've actually also installed the software, which you can download from the Yamaha website, so you can get to understand all the controls and effects and settings, and you can play around with that. And there's also a driver there to sort of tell you what your sample rate is if you want to change it. And one thing that is really cool as well is that there is a Mac version of software as well. So if you want to go ahead and use this on a Mac PC, like on your laptop or on an iMac for your audio setup or streaming setup in your office or at home, you can obviously do that as well. So really, really cool. So let me get acquainted to all the software and settings, and I'll come back to you guys in a moment with my opinions on what it's like and how it all sounds. Alrighty, so we've got the software installed, we've tweaked all the settings, I've really got myself familiar with how it all works. It took me a little bit of time, but we got there, and honestly that was just more to do with my setup than anything else. And the microphone, by the way, that you're hearing me through right now is the one that comes included on the headset, and I actually think it's probably one of the best microphones that I've ever used on a gaming headset. And in terms of comfort, like, this headset is super comfortable, and I think, on camera as well, it doesn't come off as a super aggressive gamery headphone. Like, I think if you're at work and you want to use this on Zoom or on a business call, I don't think anyone's going to make any comments about the fact that you're using a gaming headset. They probably just think it's like some nice headset from some company. So the fact that it's quite sleek and minimalistic, I really like. The microphone sounds really good, and in terms of comfort, like, it is actually a really comfortable headset, and it only comes in, I believe, at around about 300 grams, which is very, very lightweight. I do wish that this cable was removable and I could put my own one on. That's just a small little nitpick. And the other thing is, I wish I could have those ear cups laying flat on my chest or on my desk when I'm not actually using the headset. But in terms of comfort, the sound is absolutely awesome as well. Like, if you're wanting to pick up footsteps when you're playing games like Call of Duty Warzone, which I play a lot of, really, really good at picking up footsteps. If you're wanting to listen to music or movies or sport or whatever it might be, everything sounds really balanced and actually sounds probably as it was intended to be heard, which is a really, really good sign, considering that this is like Yamaha's first gaming headset sort of out of the bat. So really, really good job, Yamaha. Now, as you can see here as well, I've got a video capture set up of the actual mixer here, which I think on the desk looks really, really nice. I love the LEDs. I love how everything's got little LEDs to tell you that it's, it's on and it's working. Now, in terms of like getting it all set up and some of the things that I've done, I'm going to switch scenes here so you guys can get a better idea. So what we've got here is obviously Call of Duty in the bottom left corner. We've got Discord up here as well. We've got the controller software and just some Windows settings. So I can take you through a real quick spin of how I've got it working. And I really love it. Like the fact that I can mix my audio now so I can hear people more than the game, but then people on OBS, you know, people who are watching the live streams or the content I'm creating don't really notice a difference. It's just a really, really cool piece of kit that I've never had the experience or the pleasure to own, really. So in terms of Windows, in the speakers section, we've just basically got the playback set to speakers, ZG01. In the recording section, we've got it set to voice, ZG01. Haven't touched anything else. So if we hide that away, the next part is the controller. So in the controller, when you get it installed, you get this dashboard. If you go to the microphone settings, you've obviously got like a live meter here to tell you that your microphone is working, obviously. So we've got the headset plugged in. You can add gates, comps and EQs, limiters, all that kind of stuff if you want to do that. If you go to the effects part, so those three buttons here that you can see I'm pointing my finger to, basically you can put an effect on your voice. So the first one is, I mean, there's a lot of different, I guess, effects you can add, but this is soprano voice.
So soprano voice sounds like this, and if we go
to like tenor voice, this is the tenor voice.
Radio voice, so this is radio voice, and then if you press and turn that off again, it basically just goes back to normal. You've got one here for a sound effect, which is basically a beeper, so whenever you're wearing, if you add a bleep to your recordings, you can do that, or you can just have it be another voice changer. So I really like this
Whoops, the bass voice is really cool. I think bass voice is something that I'll use on my live streams, and I'll say to people, give me some chips. I want chips.
I think bass voice is a lot of fun. And then you've got echo. So if you want to add an echo, you can put your finger down on that button and hold it. Echo, 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 and then take it off and all the effects go away again. So 3 cool voice effects you can add to your microphone. And then you've got here some game effects. So if you want to add a certain effect to the game that you're playing, maybe you're not hearing certain things enough and you want the trebles to be higher or the bass to be less or whatever it might be, you can play around with these effects and you can get virtual surround sound through these effects as well. And I haven't played around too much with the game effects yet, but I would definitely be experimenting and seeing if whether or not it is worthwhile adding anything to the game. Generally speaking, I personally like to have sort of things sound the way that they want to sound. That's just me, that's personal preference. Then the last tab, or not last tab, but we've got the headphone monitor settings. So if you want to boost the headphone monitoring, you can do that. If you want to go ahead and change the EQ, there is actually an EQ here for the YH-G01, which is really nice. So if you want to go ahead and muck around with that, or you know, put an EQ based on the headsets that you're using, you can do that, which is cool. And then the last one is your output mixer settings. So this kind of gives you at a glance all of your different, I guess, levels and settings for different things that are happening when you're creating content or streaming or whatever it might be. So looking at Discord and looking at the mixer as well, I know this might be sort of hard to say, sort of take in, but on the top right here, we've got your game dial. So basically that is where, as you can probably hear right now, the volume, I guess for me, is being controlled of the game music. So the music's been sort of playing in the background the whole time. I can obviously take it away like that and add it back. But if I turn this dial down, I actually cannot hear the music anymore, but I know that you guys can still hear it. And if I, again, want to turn it up and give it a boost, I can turn that dial up and give it a boost. And it's louder for me, but not necessarily louder for you. So that's actually a really cool thing. And then you've got one here, which is for your, I guess, your voice chat, right? So in Discord, instead of setting it to speakers, I've set it to voice to, okay? And this allows me now to boost or, I guess, subtract the volume of the people that I'm actually chatting with. So if you want to go ahead and mix the audio, which this thing does obviously, that's basically how you do it. So you have one setup for your Windows playback, for your audio playback from your PC, right? And then you have another playback dial for your voice chat, right? So you set that up in Discord or whatever voice program that you're using to talk to people with, and then you can mix it to your heart's content. And then obviously you've got your master volume dial there as well. So really, really nice. And then, you know, you can see here in Call of Duty how I've got it set up. So if you want to, you know, press pause and take a screenshot of Call of Duty and Discord, and so you can see how it's all working. If you plan on buying one of these, this is a good opportunity to do that. So that's the settings. I have had a really pleasant experience so far using this mixer and playing a couple games and talking to people. It's definitely an added bonus. But what I want to do now is actually just get this microphone powered on. I'll remove this one so you guys can get a bit of a difference or hear a bit of a difference between the headset mic and this one, the YCM01. So just give me 1 second. Okay, so now you'll hear me through the Yamaha YCM01, and as you can tell, it is a huge step up coming from a headset microphone to a dedicated XLR microphone. I mean, you don't have to get something like this, but you know, the one that comes on the headset is going to be perfectly fine for your day-to-day chats, your gaming, your streaming, all that kind of stuff. But if you really want to take it to the next level, you can get something like this from Yamaha, which again, just plugs straight into the back. You will need to get your own XLR cable and obviously a boom arm or some sort of mount to mount this microphone. But again, it is a really nice sounding microphone, nice and rich. Does a really good job, I think, of actually reflecting how I actually sound in real life, which is, you know, the ultimate goal of a microphone, right? And with the mixer, I can add those effects or do whatever I want to do. And I think as well, aesthetically, like on stream right now, it actually looks the part. It looks like a really nice microphone. I like the white color. I think it's something different that not too many people have. So that's pretty much it for this video. Now, I guess the bottom line, would I recommend this to you guys? 100%, but there is a but, only if you're someone who is taking content creation, streaming seriously. Like, you want to get into it in terms of, like, you want to get paid for the work that you're doing. You want to get paid for the entertainment that you're creating for people. You're really passionate about it. You're finding it difficult mixing audio and all that kind of stuff. And you want to be able to just have a sort of one device that can take your consoles. Remember, you can plug in an Xbox or a PlayStation into those HDMI inputs. Or if you're just like me, you're a PC person, you just want to have a really good audio mixer. For the price, I think this comes in at around about, I'm just going to pull up the prices here really, really quickly. But basically, this comes in at an RRP of $669. I have seen, though, as a pack, like if you bought it separately from, you know, different places, you can get the mixer for about $439 Australian dollars, the headset $229 Australian dollars. So, you know, when you compare it to things like the XLR Mini, the Go XLR is obviously like $900, but XLR Mini is $369, no video capture. Razer Audio $419, no video capture. Ava Media $310, no actual video capture. So this is the only one on the market, and when you look at it for $439, the fact that it's got video capture, audio mixing capability for 439 Aussie dollars, and the software that comes included as well, I think honestly it's a good buy if you're that particular person who has that need. So that's what I think. The headphones, again, for $220, really, really good pair of headphones. The microphone that comes included on the headphones is outstanding. And, you know, I think that's pretty much all I can say. So if you have any comments, though, about any of this stuff that I've talked about, there's been heaps, please let me know in the comment section. Join the Discord server. If you enjoyed the content, chuck it a like. If you didn't enjoy the content, give me a dislike. I don't mind. I want to hear the feedback either way. Get subscribed so that way you don't miss out on future videos that I put out. Big, big, big thank you to Yamaha for sending all of this kit over, because it is honestly going to change the way that I stream and create content for you guys. So thank you so much. So until next video, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.